Good Erev Yom Tov to you. I hope you're all well.
Good Erev Yom Tov.
Yes. How have we got time to do this?
Because there's no more cleaning, no more dusting
We're
today.
all ready.
No
We're
dusting.
absolutely
all
ready. Are you ready? Hope so. Nearly there.
Cooking to do.
Okay, any Mazel Tovs?
Mazel Tov to the children of Israel on leaving Egypt.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov to them. And to anyone else who has a birthday, anniversary, or any other simcha in the coming week.
Mazel Tov.
We wish refuah shlema to anyone who's unwell, and long life to Teresa Menashe on the sad passing of her father Norman Lapp, and long life to anyone observing a Yortzeit in the coming week.
Yes, long life. Any shout-outs this week?
Shout out to Chaya Batya. That was a special request, all the way in New York.
Okay, and all those who managed to do that half marathon, fantastic achievement to you all, and all of you who have managed to get ready for Pesach and to leave Egypt with us. Yes?
That's a big achievement.
Yes, okay, so some times, I think we should look at some times. Okay, so Erev Pesach, finish eating chometz by 10:51, and make sure you've burnt your chometz by 11:58. Okay, remember as Yom Tov continues into Shabbos, you need to start your preparations for Shabbos Erev Yom Tov, and allow yourself to cook on Yom Tov by means of an Erev Tavshilin. So we're going to take a piece of matzah and a boiled egg, and we're going to make declaration.
Or a bit of chicken.
Yeah, could be chicken, could be chicken, some fish. Yeah, it could be anything like that. Yeah, so 2 pieces of the
There's enough with the eggs. There's so many eggs already to deal with. It doesn't have to be ready.
So soon. Anyway, let's make sure you do that before Yom Tov. So allow yourself to cook on Yom Tov for Shabbos. Also remember, before you light Yom Tov candles, to light at least a 48-hour, or what's more than 48? 72. Yeah, make it like a candle that's going to last for second day Yom Tov and then into, so you can light from that for your Shabbos candles. Yom Tov begins at 7:26, but you can't begin your Seder until it gets dark, which is after 8:23. Start as soon as you can after that, and make sure you've eaten your matzah by Chatzos Halachik midnight, which is 1:02. You can continue after that, but just make sure you've eaten your matzah by then.
Make sure 1:02.
Yeah, that's right.
Plenty of time.
And most importantly, enjoy your seders.
Enjoy your seders.
That's right. We're looking forward to the communal seder on the second night as well.
Very much. Very nice.
So just a quick idea, just to ask you, what do you prefer first, the bad news or the good news?
Bad news.
Yes? Well, actually, you're in good company, because 4 out of 5 people prefer to hear bad news before the good news. Now, on Pesach, we're not actually given the choice, because the Haggadah, following a clear directive from the Mishnah, begins Begunus with the shameful part of our ancestors' history, but ends B'Shevach with its praise. Now, the Gemara presents 2 opinions as to exactly what is that referring to. Either that's the fact that our ancestors were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, as we know, until God performed miracles and freed us from slavery, or the fact that we were also originally idolaters who were eventually drawn close to God. Now, as is tradition, we mention both of those aspects in the Gada, but the question is, why do we start with the bad news and end with the good news? Well, the Nesiv Shalom explains beautifully that Pesach is a uniquely transformative event. You see, the Jewish people at the time of the Exodus had sunk to the lowest level of spiritual impurity, but with God's help, they were able to leave behind the slavery in Egypt and were refined and uplifted. And every year at Pesach, we're also presented with the same opportunity to extract ourselves from the spiritual depths and slavery and reconnect with God.
That's why we drink a lot of wine.
It could be one of the reasons, yes, absolutely. And that's why we lean.
Spiritual.
Yes, that's why we lean as well. So at the Seder, by drinking our wine, eating the matzah, and reminding ourselves that no one has travelled a further distance from God than our ancestors, either as slaves or idolaters, we will also recall the fact that they were redeemed so they can enjoy a glorious future. And therefore, seen through this lens, Pesach is an incredibly uplifting and should be inspiring for us. So we should also narrow the gap between ourselves and God, because it is clearly possible. That is the good news, which should last and linger longer in our hearts and minds than the taste of the matzah has to in our mouths at the end of the Seder. Wishing you all a Chag Sameach, a Chashav Sameach, and a Kasher Pesach. Good Yom Tov.
Enjoy your matzahs. Good Yom Tov.